Good morning, retail traders. I am Washboardjim with a sneaky snake trading strategy where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. And we're going to show you how we looked at the SPX on Friday, and I'm going to tell you a few hinters, that reasons for me when I want to get into a trade off the sneaky snake trading strategy. I use moving averages again and chart patterns and being in the now. So I know the bulls are very bullish, that's for sure. Well, we had a two-headed snake Friday sitting here on the SPX with two inverse head and shoulders, and we had a descending triangle. They can go either way. It met up with an inverse head and shoulders. Right here, you see your left shoulder. We came back and retested that right shoulder. We came back and retested that right shoulder, and we retested that right shoulder one more time. So I always say, if you can count to three, you can trade with Bobo. So this is the SPX, and I'm going to draw this out and tell you what to look for before you take a trade and when to go ahead and take the initial trade. Sneaky snake, breakout, pull back, boom. This happens every single time, 99% of the time. They'll come back and they'll retest. All the stocks like to retest. That's bears getting out and then the bulls getting back in. But sometimes it's just a short little spring. Sometimes it's a pretty good drop to that next support level. So we're going to clean this up. I'm going to pull up the 5-minute, 5-day, which we have right here. We had a nice little breakout, so the bulls are definitely in charge. Right out of the gate, you could probably screen it as a possible double bottom. Right it open. You see the double bottom, you got it right here. Just take your trend line. You know you're getting close to that yesterday's support level, that low part, and then right it open. I'm going to change this color to white. So right at open, you got a double bottom. So you could have probably took that trade and run it up to the upside and get out up here at the 200 SMA, up here at this double top, triple top. So we're going to run a trend line right across that too. So you touched up here 1, 2, 3 times. Triple top, you get out of the trade. Triple top is a bearish signal. Remove drawing. So we know we came back and hit a double bottom right out of the gate. We got away with a scalp to the 200 SMA and was out of the trade once we hit resistance up here from that yesterday's high. Now we've got an inverse head and shoulders on the pullback. I always say if you miss the trade, you miss the sprint, come back, wait for the pullback and look for that pattern. Look for that pattern that's going to show up. So here we've got a left shoulder and a right shoulder was created. With that right shoulder, you had a snake. You had a hammer right here, so you want to draw in this snake. Take it to that body of that candle and run it to the body of that candle right there, and then pull it on back, and bam, there's your snake. We had the little dip. So we know that we're at a support level. We haven't took the trade yet, but we bounced right back up with 3 white soldiers. 3 white soldiers is a bullish extension, which means it's a sign that the bulls are in control now. But you're still going to pull back some. We didn't quite break out of that snake yet. You need a whole body candle to break out of that snake before you'd want to even think about taking the trade. So we did not receive that full body candle. It's not completely pulled out yet, but here it has. You completely cleared the channel right here. You know you're getting bullish. You know this is a sign, 3 white soldiers is a sign that we're going to have an extension run, but this is going to be looking good. Looking good. And this was like an exit idea up here because you already had your huge run already. And you know it's going to pull back after the 3 white soldiers, just like it did right here. So you definitely want to get out of a trade on a 1, 2, 3. Same thing right here. 1, 2, 3, 3 white soldiers, pulls back. 1, 2, 3, 3 white soldiers, pulls back. You don't know if that's going to hold support and stay in the trade. So you've got to exit them trades at the 3 white soldiers, knowing that we're going to have an extension run, maybe 20, 10, 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, a half hour later. So we broke out of the snake and we created another inverse head and shoulders to take this trade. Go up to the extended trend line, and there's your head, your shoulder, left shoulder, right shoulder, and then your head. And then we retested with a lower high right here, which was really a double bottom off that pivot point in the snake. Then she goes ahead and breaks out. You still haven't took the trade yet, but you know that we've got a double top here, and it's going to pull back and then see what kind of flag we create. So here you draw your trend line and you run this on out. And you've got a symmetrical flag leading out of the snake. You've got an inverse head and shoulders, and we came back and retested that shoulder one more time. So I was able to count to 3. I learned that in 1st grade. Probably before that. I was a freaking math when I was a kid. There's your 1, 2, 3. Now, right here, that body of that candle did not touch that 3rd time, but it did right here. So you got a 1, 2, 3. You know, you're not really going to break that until that body hits that candle, hits that trend line for the 3rd time. So we don't count that, we count this. So now we've identified the pattern. We've took the trade already a couple of times and got out of the trade at a double top. So we get the snake, breakout, pull back, snake, breakout, right here, created the symmetrical flag, and broke out again and hit the 200 SMA. And that was an exit idea if you got in that trade. Just an idea, but I'm pretty much bullish after this point. And then she finally pulls back for that retest. So you've got snake, breakout into a symmetrical flag. Now we know we're definitely bullish. Comes back and retests the top of that 1, 2, 3. Boom, to the rest of the day, and you decide to go ahead and get out of this trade up here at this double top. Double top is a bearish signal. And here you got the 21 EMA respecting. So you're still in the trade if you know how to trade these moving averages. You got the 9 that keeps you very bullish, and then your stop loss would be under the 21, somewhere around in there if you wanted to put one in. But that 21 saves the day. Saves the day. Now if this would have came back and probably hit the 60 or the 200, I'd still probably be in the trade as long as it held that 200 SMA. Because that's my bullish signal. I mean, that's my strongest pivot point inside of a chart. You have it acting as a pivot point right here. It acted as a pivot point. It acted as a resistance. It acted as a resistance. It acted as a resistance. And then it finally broke out of that. And then the 21, it's acting as support. It's acting as support. It's acting as support. So you still can stay in that trade as you can, but I'm telling you, Jimmy gets out at the double top. By this time, I'm up a couple $100 in this contract. It's SPX. I got 5 of them. 5 times 200 is $1,000. So within minutes, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, you're out of that trade at a double top on the 1 minute time frame. I use the 1 minute time frame because to me, I can read the chart better. I can define the direction that it really wants to go. that's, you know, it sets up the patterns. You can see patterns more often when you're dealing with a 1 minute compared to a 5 minute, a 10 minute, or a 15 minute. I like to use them time frames if I'm going to swing something. But when I'm scalping and I know we're having a choppy day or I think we're overbought, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to be scalping most of the day. And that's about the part of being in the now. You got to know, you know, how's that market? Where are we? Are we bearish? Are we, you know, do we have support? What's the trend of the day? So that's basically the sneaky snake trading strategy. She went ahead and run all the way up. She did break that 1, 2, 3 here at the end of the day, and then go on so far and so forth. But it was a good trade, and that's kind of how you trade the sneaky snake trading strategy, where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. It's Washboard Jim, and have a great day. Sneaky snake trading strategy.